Hello and welcome to hello and welcome to Premier League Primetime. No, this is part two, episode 9, because back on the first part with Aiden, we only did our match analyzations, and we're back again to give you our predictions for Matchday 9. Sirius unfortunately is not here. He has to take care of some things, but he will be back soon. Still part of the Premier League primetime family as is. And of course we still got, of course, two wonderful co-hosts, Andre and Jose. How are you two doing?
Really good. How are you, Davis?
Doing good.
I'm good. I'm good myself. And unlike England's performance against Belgium, I'm doing pretty good myself. And of course, we are joined by a very special guest, just like Curtis, Mr. Barcelona himself, Mr. Adam Arias. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, knowing that Barca's going to win the Champions League. But that's besides the point. I'm doing great today.
And let's not, upset Jose too much because he also supports another team from Spain. Anyways, let's. You guys ready to jump right into this?
Let's go.
All right, we're all ready to go. So, looking at this first game, Newcastle against Chelsea. For me, Newcastle are kind of an interesting team, to be honest with you. Like in terms of just form, I mean, and you don't really know what you're going to get from Newcastle. I mean, it's either you get a really good performance or you get a really crappy performance. And for me personally, Newcastle are just one of those sides that you don't really know what you're going to get. I mean, they have good players, like they have Saint Maximin, they have and they have Callum Wilson, and they have really important players. But to be honest with you, just the quality that Chelsea have, I think this is a no-brainer. I think Chelsea will go to St. James's Park and will take care of business, and I think Chelsea will get this win. Whether Frank Lampard's eyes turns into hearts for if Mason Mount starts or not, we don't know. But yeah, I think Chelsea will come in and they will clean house and they will beat Newcastle. Andre, what are you thinking?
Yeah, with Chelsea's ambitions this season, I think they'd see it as a loss if they don't take the 3 points from this. They have to jump at it. I think this is a necessary win for Lampard to, restore faith that they can challenge for things. I believe Callum Wilson's out for the game. I'm not too sure, but yeah,
he
he's
is like
injured. I think so,
injury
yeah.
or suspension?
No injury, I believe.
Everybody's getting injured.
Results, but he's out. We've got
Everybody's getting injured. But but speaking of everybody getting injured, we'll save that for Aiden and Liverpool later when we talk about them. Getting back to Newcastle, if Callum Wilson's out, that's just another example of or another further reason why it's going to be very difficult for Newcastle to maybe draw this game, let alone win. So you're sticking with with Chelsea?
Yeah, I think so. I think.
All right, Jose, what are you saying?
I'm thinking that this game could be a draw. I mean, Newcastle coming off a poor result against Southampton, I think they'll be disappointed with that one. And Chelsea coming off some really good results, so they'll be confident. But I think that, Newcastle has shown us this season that they can grind out some good results. So I think they could get one in that game.
All right, so you're saying a draw. Adam, what about you? What are you saying for Chelsea versus Newcastle?
Yeah, Newcastle's been inconsistent. They lost to Man United 4-1, but they drew against some good teams. But again, Chelsea just got the talent. I think Frank Lampard can pull it out with a win, which would be huge for that team that has a lot of ambitions this season.
Yeah, and I know the game that Adam brought up wasn't the most recent game that they played, but he brings up a good point that game alone itself. That game, Newcastle were tight, they were compact, and then in the last 10 minutes. In the last 10 minutes, they pulled what Man United did against Spurs, or what Arsenal's defense did against Bayern Munich, which is what I call capitulation FC, and they just fell apart. After something goes wrong, and then they just fall apart. But yeah, Will it happen against Chelsea? I don't know. For me, but yeah, I think Chelsea will come away with a win, but I think Frank Lampard's personnel is going to be a huge influence on who wins this game. Moving to the next game, Aston Villa host Brighton, and I 100% think Aston Villa is going to come away with a win. Brighton's kind of like, and all due respect to Brighton's kind of like Chelsea, no, not like Chelsea, like Newcastle in the sense that they're super inconsistent. One day you'll get, brilliant Brighton, and then the next day you'll get boring as hell Brighton. I mean, you don't know which one you're gonna get. If it's good results, bad results, as I said, but yeah, I think just in the form that Aston Villa are in, I just think it's another no-brainer, and yeah, I think Aston Villa will come away with this one, especially if you look at players, or a player that I now, in my firm belief, think is a world-class player, whether people like it or not. I think Jack Grealish is a world-class player. I mean, he's coming to the Premier League with all the doubts and expectations put upon him. If it weren't for Jack Grealish, Aston Villa would have gotten relegated. Let's make that very clear right now. And this season, he has taken the Premier League by storm, and he has been nothing but brilliant for the teams that he's played. He's, as the title from episode 9 says, he spun Rob Holding like a dreidel in that game against Arsenal. He was a nightmare for Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, he's been brilliant. And Ollie Watkins, another one. He's not world class, but I mean, at the moment, in terms of form, he's one of the best strikers in the Premier League in terms of form. But yeah, I think Aston Villa will come away with the win here. Andre, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think Brighton's strength lately has been in possession. They're an entertaining side. Tariq Lamptey has been fantastic. Trossard is always going to be threatening. So I think the thing for me is, can Aston Villa contain them? And you look at their personnel, and they absolutely can. Those midfielders, they can dominate that. They can shut out Tariq Lamptey. They have all the resources available in their starting 11 to shut out Brighton and come away with the win. So I think it'll go to Aston Villa.
All right, Jose, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think Aston Villa definitely surprised everyone this season. I had Dean Smith as my candidate to be sacked first, and now they're basically three points behind the top of the table with a game in hand. So I definitely predict Villa to come away with the win in this one.
And Adam, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think Aston Villa will come away with a big win. Jack Grealish is just an incredible player, and he's been a really big help for their good offense. Got a lot of shots on goal, a lot of goals per game. I think top in the EPL maybe. So I think a good win for Aston Villa.
Do you think Jack Grealish would be a good fit at Barca, or are you happy with Pegleg and Martin Braithwaite?
I think we'll stick to La Masia, and we'll recruit from there. That will work for us. It worked for us in 2010, 2011, so I think it'll work again.
Just like how you say Quique Setien worked for Barca.
That was a mistake.
Anyways, going into the next game, arguably one of the smallest, biggest games of the week. And just did that to spite Andre a little bit. But Tottenham Hotspur host Manchester City. Mourinho versus Pep. What can I say? I remember the last time these two teams played. I remember back, I think it was in February. Andre was raving about and this was well before the podcast was in. He was yelling me, raving away, saying, "Oh, Stephen Bergwijn, he's arrived in North London. It's Stephen Bergwijn. Oh, Stephen Bergwijn, young man shuns in the form of his life." And yeah, I watched the game, and yeah, I was impressed by the way Tottenham were playing. But but this is a tone in it. I'm honestly not even sure. For me, I don't think Manchester City will win. I mean, for me, I'm stuck between a Tottenham win. I think Tottenham could very well win this match because we've seen it. The Manchester derbies last year, as I've said, Crystal Palace versus Leeds. I've said it time and time again. You know, these Pep Guardiola-esque sides really struggle when it comes to teams that hit them on the break, and I think Jose Mourinho will look at his team and will say, "All right, everyone, time to get aboard of the bus, and it's time to get ready to counter attack. Everybody in the back, and Harry, you stay up front." I think he's going to use Jose Mourinho will utilize players like Lucas Moura, Heung-min Son, players with pace, and players that are extremely clinical, and also players like Gareth Bale. Yeah, he's older, but I mean he is a quick player, whether people like to say it or not. For me, I'm not sure. I mean this could go in a draw, but I mean for me, I think Tottenham will edge it. Andre, are you agreeing with me here?
Yeah, thank you for the faith. I think we will. I'm excited for the match. I think every time we've faced City, we've always been facing an uphill battle, even in that famous Champions League clash where we barely edged it out thanks to VAR and Fernando Llorente. But this is the first.
The lamppost, Mr. Lamppost.
Yeah, this is the first time we play City in a long time where it feels like we are the better team at the moment, where it does feel like we're going to be the ones to set the tone of the match. I'm sure we're going to sit back at some point, but I wouldn't be surprised if in that first half we're the team that's dominant on the ball. Højbjerg averaging 80, 90 passes a game, most passes out of anybody. I wouldn't be surprised if we go possession play. You're laughing, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go possession for the first whatever. I think it's going to be an interesting match. I don't know what to expect, but I'm feeling optimistic. I think we can win.
All right, Andre sticking to his Tottenham instincts. Spurs win. Yeah, I think Spurs will win as well. Jose, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm thinking a Tottenham win. I think the odds are stacked against Man City, and for this one, it's going to be tough for them. They're not having the best of seasons, obviously, right now. They're pretty low. They're pretty low in the table. I'm not sure they have a lot of confidence, and I think they're going to need some to beat this Tottenham side, who are in pretty good form at the moment. So yeah, I'm thinking a comfortable Tottenham win for this one.
And Adam, what about you? What are you saying? Tottenham against Manchester City.
Yeah, I think Pep Guardiola is going to come under fire for this loss. It's not looking good for Manchester City. I think they're dealing with some injuries, and Tottenham is just in good form. I think second on the Premier League table. So I think it's a good win for Tottenham.
Yeah, and you can clearly see Andre is delighted for the first time. It seems like the first time in their history, Tottenham are actually contenders for the Premier League this season. Hey, joy to be a Tottenham fan this season. Anyways, looking at this next game, Manchester United against West Brom. Now, I think again, the thing from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is that again in the big games he shows up, but against these small these small teams like the Burnleys and the Watfords of last year, you'll see Manchester United crumble and they'll lose. But I mean, for me personally, I think Manchester United will come away with the win. I think Ole will take care of business, regardless of a player is missing. Whether Luke Shaw, I know, is out injured, but hey, that's not a surprise. It's Luke Shaw. I don't know if Eric Bailly's back to full fitness, but hey, if he isn't, another surprise for everybody. But yeah, I think Manchester United will go to West Brom and will take care of business. And if they don't, that just gives a massive damning statement for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get the sack for me. Andre, what are you saying?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be an easy match. I don't, and honestly, I don't know how United will go about it. Like, what's your predicted midfield lineup? What's your midfield in this match?
The midfield. Wait, the midfield I hope for, or the
Personnel.
midfield that Ollie's gonna play?
Yeah, the one that Ole's going to play.
I think he'll stick with the diamond because we don't have the wingers. I mean, yeah, we have Rashford, we have Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood, but if one of them gets injured, you're back to Dan James. And I think we all know what Ollie and myself and people like Jose think of Dan James. I mean,
I think
not really
Pogba will
sure. The problem with Solskjaer is that he changes the lineup every week. So I mean, 1 week you'll see Pogba play, then the next week you won't see him play. And I know one thing's for sure: Donny Van de Beek's not going to be playing because if you know Ollie, apparently Donny Van de Beek and Bruno Fernandes, cannot play together in the same team in the Premier League. Don't really get that whatsoever. But for me, I'm thinking if I'm in the mind of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, McTominay's probably going to start because Ole loves Scott very much. Not as much as Anto, but he definitely loves Scott. I think the new Casemiro, Fredinho, will play. The man, the myth, the legend, Fred. It's about time people put some respect on his name. And for some people to stop calling him just a second-rate Harry Winks. Bruno Fernandes will play 100%. Yeah, he will most certainly play. And then I'm not sure. For the last spot, I mean, Van de Beek could surprise us. It could be Matic holding, and you have McTominay and Fred. But I think Paul Pogba will come back into the lineup. I think
he'll start.
I
Especially
think Paul Pogba will be given the start.
After the
Especially in a game like West Brom. I think Pogba will get the start. Anyways, Jose, what are you thinking for this game?
Yeah, I was thinking Pogba would play just after the comments. I think Ole is gonna be interested in getting him back into what he should be, how he should be playing. I think that's gonna be important for us if he plays well. If he plays well, we tend to play well, so that'll be important. I think Martial will definitely play in this game after his ban. Obviously, he played against Everton, but he didn't really get to do that much in that game. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a win. If we take it seriously, it'll be a comfortable win. If we don't take it seriously, we may scrape one, or we may draw or lose. I sincerely hope we take it seriously because we need all the points we can get right now in the Premier League.
Yeah, 100% agreed. Adam, over to you. What are you saying for Manchester United against West Brom?
Yeah, I think Manchester United has dealt with a lot of issues, especially with Ole at the wheel early in the season. They're not looking good in the EPL right now, but I think they'll get a win against them. Maybe a draw, but I do think it's going to be a close win. West Brom is just not looking like the team that can handle Man United right now, even in the form they are. So yeah, I think a win for your team and 3 points.
All right. Pretty universal across the board. Manchester United expecting to take care of business, and if not, severe questions will be asked of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, without question. Going to the next game, and I think this will be pretty universal among the board. Fulham are hosting Everton, and I think it's safe to say that Everton will just come away with a comfortable win. I'll say Fulham are just falling apart like West Brom. Fulham are slightly better because they beat them. But yeah, I think Everton. For me, the only question I'm really asking myself is how many goals are Everton going to win by? That's the question. Is Ancelotti going to keep it tight, get a goal, then park the bus, or is he going to go full on Hansi Flick against a certain team I'm not going to name in the Champions League, and just go all attack, be completely ruthless. But yeah, Everton will come away with the win here. And Andre, over to you. What are you saying?
Yeah, they've got to. The headlines alone, if Fulham came away with it, they'd have 2 wins in a row, right? And against Everton, that'd be huge. But it does seem a little out of reality. So I'm gonna go Everton for the win.
All right, Jose, over to you. What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a pretty clear Everton win. I'd be really surprised if Fulham got 2 wins in a row. I think Everton are going to have a lot of their squad back. They had some of it missing last time, so I think the odds are definitely in Everton's favor in this one.
And Adam, what about you?
Yeah, I think it's a clear win for Everton. They're going up against a team not looking good right now, not in good form. So I think it's a good win for Everton. Pick up 3 points for them.
All right. Well, yeah, there you have it. It was just as I expected. Next game. I think this again is going to be universal across the board. Sheffield United hosts West Ham, and I think West Ham again, maybe not as severe as Everton, but I think it's just a question of how many goals. I think West Ham, given what they've done under David Moyes, who's somehow, and I have to admit it, David Moyes has just been incredible so far this season for West Ham. He's done some pretty amazing things I would have never thought he would have done before. But yeah, a pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I think West Ham with the tools that they have, I think they'll come out with a win. Andre, what are you saying?
Yeah, sorry, the gardener's here, so it's a little loud. I'm trying to get away from the noise.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the match again? I just lost my focus.
So, Sheffield United are hosting West Ham.
Right. Yeah. No, Sheffield United haven't been nearly good enough. Haven't hit the expectations they should be. So yeah, no, I think West Ham will continue their run of form. They'll come away with the win, possibly comfortably.
All right. And Jose, over to you.
Yeah, I can't really see West Ham throwing away the opportunity to win this one. I think that they're going to be confident, and rightly so, going into this game, and I think they'll win pretty dominantly.
And Adam, over to you. What are you saying?
Yeah, West Ham 12th in the table, so they're not super strong, but I think against the bottom of the table, Sheffield, I don't think you can pass that up to get 3 points. So I think it's a comfortable West Ham United win, and they'll be looking forward to getting all those points they can.
All right. And I mean, in my opinion, they are 12th in the league, but I think West Ham are definitely going to be pushing for that top 10 spot. Do I think they'll get it? I personally think so. But who knows? Yeah. Going into the next game, and of course, Shy Guys men, aka Sirius's Mikel Arteta's face another difficult test as they journey over to Ellen Lane where they play Leeds United. I don't know. Seeing the way that their defense just utterly crumbled against Villa. Sorry, so if you're watching, yeah, they utterly crumbled, fell apart. What more can I say? Patrick Bamford seems like he's in the form of his life right now. Jack Harrison, another good player who can who's super crafty on the wings and on the flanks. But yeah, I personally think, and I think this game could be a draw. RG, over to you.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I'm gonna love it. I would love it if Leeds took all 3 points, but I think the reality is that, I guess Arsenal, they're on generally good form. They played really well against United, but even in that match, their attack I don't think is where it should be. Whereas Leeds, it's something that they definitely have in their locker, and I think it'll end up being a draw. I think Arsenal will muster through and get a draw.
And do you think that Mikel Arteta's masterclass will just do just enough to get a point?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the points will be shared.
All right. Jose, what are you saying?
Well, I think everyone knows I love to predict an Arsenal loss, and I'm gonna do it again. I think it's a Leeds. I'm thinking a Leeds win for this one. It's interesting to note the last time they played was in 2004, and Arsenal won 5-0 with 4 goals from Thierry Henry. Unfortunately, there's no Thierry Henry this time, so I think I'm thinking it's gonna be a Leeds win.
And they don't have a defensive Sol Campbell and Martin Keown. If that's not right, Sirius will probably tear me a new one. But yeah, even with the positivity of Gabriel, still signs of Arsenal's extremely shaky defensive issues. And to be honest, with all the things that's been an issue, I'd say their defense has been, and I know people are going to laugh at me, but I mean, for me, their defense has been one of the, I don't know, least concerning issues for me. I think I think Gabriel's kind of papered over all those cracks, and you kind of see what happens when Gabriel falls apart. Everything kind of falls apart. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Adam, over to you.
Yeah, I like predicting a loss for Arsenal too. So I'm just for the fun of it, I'll pick Leeds to win this one. Got a good coach, got a good mentality, I think. So I think it's a Leeds victory.
All right. Yet again, I'm putting my neck on the line for Arsenal to at least get a point. Yet again, same thing. I swear, Arteta, if you're watching this, you better prove me right. I swear. And I don't even like your club, but you better do me right here. Anyways, going to the next game, Leicester City travel up to Anfield and play Aidan Quinn FC. At Liverpool. I think Leicester are going to come away with a win. I mean, Liverpool FC, Aidan Quinn FC. It should be called Injury FC or Injuries FC. Virgil van Dijk out, Robertson out, Joe Gomez out, Trent Alexander-Arnold is out. I think Thiago is still out with an injury. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is out. Who else is missing? Salah's missing as well. What can I say? And that Leicester side defensively has been looking very, very impressive. Looking at their last two games, the first of them, and those two games were not easy games. Leeds United and Wolves are not easy teams to play against, and Leicester, defensively strong, beat them both. For me personally, do I think Mane and Jota can be enough? I don't know. I mean, I think Liverpool's attack has been so successful because they've always had a trio, and it's always been Mane and Salah and the guy who doesn't really score for Liverpool, the Brazilian guy. We'll probably see Firmino back on the side, but yeah, who knows? I think Leicester are gonna go for a complete. I'm going for a complete upset. But of course, if this goes wrong, Aiden could be tearing me a new one. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a Leicester win. Andre, what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, you put it perfectly. Those injuries. I mean, I think last year, I rarely ever praised Jordan Henderson, but this season he's been really carrying him through this crisis. He's been brilliant. Now he's out, injured after that England-Belgium clash. They're not going to have him in midfield. So it's tough to see where on the pitch they can't get dominated other than in that attack with Diogo Jota, Sadio Mane, and Roberto Firmino. It's their only area. So I think Leicester are going to obliterate them. I do. I think Leicester have been on really good form. In the Europa League, they were brilliant. They've been brilliant in the Prem, too. They've come out with that win against City, some big wins. I think they're going to destroy them. I feel for Liverpool fans. Really, they've been hard done by this international break, among other things.
All right. Jose, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think Liverpool are really going to struggle in this one. Leicester, I think they're gonna know exactly how to play this, and they're gonna play it right, and they're gonna play well. I think they're gonna get probably like a 3-0 win in this game. It's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yep, me too. At the moment, I'm just so sick and tired of getting completely mugged off by Liverpool fans. I'm getting mugged off by Liverpool fans, and including you, Aiden, for you watching me. And sorry, Aiden, to say, but if they end up losing, it will be really, really enjoyable to watch. Adam, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think too many injuries.
Corner taken quickly. What? Okay, wait, go on.
That was in the past. We're looking for the future now.
So bad, but okay, yeah. Anyways,
think
what were you
I
saying?
don't think Jurgen Klopp can tactically pull himself out of this one. It's too many injuries for the Liverpool side. So I think Leicester's been in strong form. Madison and that whole team is just gonna, I think, 2-3 goals more. They're gonna win by. So I think it's a comfortable win for them. Yeah, sad for Liverpool, but we'll see.
What about Origi and Wijnaldum? Are they going to score a few goals in this one?
Maybe Wijnaldum. We'll see. He can stay over there. Maybe get a contract extension. So
Yeah.
we have
Or,
Coutinho. We're fine.
or he might get a contract offer, from Barca because something that I don't think a lot of people know about Ronald Koeman. I mean, he's Dutch, and I think something super important to know. He also used to play for Barcelona.
Is he Dutch? I didn't know that.
Okay. Anyways, moving into the next game. Crystal Palace go to Burnley, and I think this is going to be a battle of counterattacking, and as Andre's as Andre leaning back in his chair, I would have done the exact same thing because in this game, just like classic Jose Mourinho, makes me want to fall asleep. Two teams that are just going to sit back and hit each other in the week. But I think again, just in a general sense, when you look at two teams and they kind of play the same way, then you start looking at personnel and you start looking at individuals. And for me, there's going to be one guy, and he's going to get them over the line, and his name and the name of that Ivorian man is Mr. Wilfried Zaha, and I think someone like him is going to, just carry Palace yet again over the line. And I think Crystal Palace will come away with a victory just purely down to personnel and all that point. Burnley, of course, are going to try and use their physical game to their assets. Players like, of course, Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes. They have a very good youngster. What's his name? The winger, Dwight McNeil. He's been very impressive for Burnley. He impressed last season, and and he's been very good. And I mean, in my opinion, he's been another standout performer, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Palace will come away with a win. Andre, what about you?
Yeah, this game will be a little hard to watch. I would say maybe one of the interesting points to look out for, one of the few, would be, I think it would be interesting to see how Eberechi Eze will deal with the physicality of a side like Burnley. He was very good in his last match. He did some really good stuff, and I'm excited how he'll deal with the physical attributes of Burnley. That said, it could go either way. I think I'm gonna edit to Burnley. I think that Sean Dyche masterclass was just gonna work out. I think it'll work out.
All right, Jose, over to you.
Yeah, I think Davis's analysis was good. I think that definitely it's going to be down to some individuals in this game. Very even between these two teams. I mean, 4 wins for Burnley, 5 wins for Palace. So I think it's going to be a close one. I'm going to predict a draw for this one, I think.
All right, both teams selling on the point. And Adam, what are you saying? Crystal Palace against Burnley.
Yeah, I'm not expecting a very I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this game. I wouldn't expect a very offensive-oriented match, but I expect an easy win for Crystal. Maybe not easy, but maybe by a goal.
All right. And again, I just think that that the overall quality of that Palace side will help carry them over the line. Both teams have had their defensive issues. And I believe if both those teams are going to move to the next level, I personally and strongly believe that both sides definitely need to a certain extent need a revamp. They need multiple new faces brought in. I mean, for me, looking at both these sides, I honestly feel like, they're the same. I mean, they've been the same, teams like forever, honestly. Like, that's how that's how I feel about it. But yeah, I think, Crystal Palace will come away with a narrow win. And anyways, on to the last game, Southampton versus Wolves. Could be a really exciting, entertaining game to see personally. I don't know. At the moment, Southampton seem almost unplayable. Players like, whether he comes back or not, James Ward-Prowse, because I know he was injured and couldn't meet up with the England squad. He's been phenomenal. Danny Ings, if you want to know our thoughts on Danny Ings, go watch our previous episodes. Again, another guy who's been so helpful Southampton. And Southampton have they've been looking really, really good. And I think this is a perfect test for Southampton, a team like Wolves, who are not going to give them an easy game. Of course, we all know Nuno Espirito Santo definitely loves that counter-attacking 3-4-3 or that 3-5-2. Players like Daniel Podence, Pedro Neto, and then of course you have the main man, Raul Jimenez. I think Southampton are actually to come away and win in this one personally. I think Nuno is going to try and sit back, but I think eventually Southampton is going to break them down with the constant high press. I feel like Wolves are not going to always be on their toes, and I think mistakes will slip, and I think Southampton's going to take full advantage of that. Ange, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think this one will be interesting. I think I'll be tuning in personally. Week from today, Monday, 12 o'clock, I think. Yeah, I think it's going to be tight. It could definitely go either way. I think Southampton at the moment have probably got the personnel to edge it out over a thin Wolves squad. So I guess really tough, because I still feel part of myself saying it's going to go to Wolves, but I'm gonna say it's going to go to Southampton. It'll be tight. I'm excited to see what the Instagram poll will dictate. That'll be interesting. It's a really even game.
Jose, over to you. What are you saying?
I'm thinking for this one. I think for this one that whoever is going to be on the front foot is going to lose this one. I think that if Wolves try to play on the front foot, they'll definitely lose, and if Southampton do the same, then I think they'll lose. So I think it's going to be a case of Southampton on the front foot and Wolves on the back foot, and I think that Wolves are going to counterattack and win.
All right. And Adam, over to you. What are you saying? Southampton against Wolves.
Yeah, tough game to predict. I think if my guy Nelson Semedo gets out and gets a good performance, then I think it'll be a draw for both teams.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I could see that. Both teams settling for a point. And also, I think what Jose said there just sums it up perfectly. I think, with the fast flowing, a pacey, energetic kind of football that Ralph Hudenhodel likes to play. It's going to be them dominating on the ball, and then it's going to be Wolves sitting back. And I think they're going to try and counterattack through the pace of players like Pedro Neto and Daniel Podence, Adama Traore. I don't know where he's been, and I don't know why he's been starting, whether it's due to him not signing a contract or whatnot. But not having him in that team, but having Adama Traore in that team makes Wolves a lot better of a team than they are without him, for me personally. Well, we've reached the end of our relatively short show. Does anybody else have anything else to say?
I guess, how did you react when Bartomeu left as president or resigned?
I rejoiced. What do you mean?
Oh,
the new
Adam, come
Victor
on! I know you're in
is
tears.
coming in as president.
I know you're in absolute tears, saying, "Oh, Bartomeu, he's gone! Oh no, he's gone!" Oh, Lord and Savior
Sole
Bartomeu.
reason why we got that for their 8-2. The sole reason for the Liverpool comeback, but he's gone. It's a new era this time. That's why UCL 2021 champs.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, let's just not blame the players and not blame the coach. It's
Hey,
Bartomeu.
okay.
They'll have to beat Getafe first, no?
Oh yeah. Hey, if you watch that game, you know, it was a little dirty. That match was a little dirty.
If they play Villarreal, though, if they play Villarreal, I know they have no chance. They have no chance.
It's right. Xavi's going to come in next season, so we're fine.
They have Villarreal have the Spanish Roberto Carlos and the Spanish prime Ronaldo Nazario.
Well, it's going to be rebuilding, so.
Oh, come on. You in the rebuilding.
And they're coached by a Sir Alex regen.
Yeah, Ronald Koeman is he's better than Kike Setien, I'd say. But he got some work to do.
Just a little bit? Just a little bit?
I'd say by a lot.
Sure.
I would say. Fast flowing.
You don't miss
work on our touch.
You don't miss your Kike Setien. You don't miss your Kike Setien 4-4-2 4 central midfielders across the midfield masterclass.
He didn't care at that
inspired form this season.
He was out.
Wait, what was it?
Messi's been in inspired form this season.
Yeah, he's been an inspiration for everybody.
It's all right. We'll get a new president and everything will be fine. Man United, you get to work on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
How that Spurs is in the best position of these three clubs? It's insane. It's so awesome being up here on the high horse.
And the second Andre starts talking about Tottenham being the best club of all three of our clubs, that's where we say we've reached the end of our show. Thank you so much for watching this. And thank you so much for your time watching this. If you liked our video, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. And if you're pleased if you're happy with Adam and you want to see him back on the channel, again, smash the like, give the channel the love it needs. And if you also agree that Kike Setien is total crap and Barca are not winning the Champions League anytime soon, also smash the like on this video. If you want to check us out on Instagram, you're also there at PL Primetime. Thank you so much for your time watching this, and we'll see you next week. And wherever you are in the world watching this, have a good day/evening.